backtracking our way up. I know he's waiting.
So, because we got taken off traffic, we will not do the land ahead this time.
Okay.
We'll do it later when there's no traffic. Okay?
But we are going to fly an 800-foot circuit.
Yes, we'll just do an ordinary circuit and slot in at the first off and do the normal checks and just a nice accurate circuit if we can.
Okay, so brake to flight 2,000 RPM. So Oscar, rolling 2-3 to remain in the gyrocopter left-hand visual circuit.
Radar 47 Tango lining up. 2-3.
Lost my balance string, it's decided to wrap itself around, so are you getting a load of wind back there?
No, you've got good balance, so happy with that. Use your shoulders instead of the string. Okay, now our circuit's fairly short, so we can actually do a 45 across here now, because they find difficulty in seeing us. So if we do a 45, they can see exactly where we are. So it's kind of a pre-crosswind leg, okay?
Alright.
But before you turn crosswind proper, obviously do your check out and make sure we can join crosswind, which we can.
We can, slowly there.
When you're ready, crosswind. So we'll do this circuit as a kind of familiarisation to the techniques we want at sleep, and then we'll see what the traffic's doing. Alright. I suggest your telemetry is probably responsible.
I don't think it is. I was having no problems on the way down.
Okay.
I think this may be one of the consequences of the helmet.
Oh, could be. Well, I've never heard those noises.
No, well, I've never heard either.
It's always a one-off, isn't it? So there's the chicken sheds there. Can you see them ahead?
Yeah, so do we should go out, you want me to over them or outside them?
Just out, just to the inside, and we're clear to join downwind, so when you're ready you can make your call out on the front circuit.
Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar, downwind, left hand, runway 23, 800-foot gyrocopter circuit.
You won't get much air ground in the day.
I noticed that.
Yep.
Even though it's quite busy.
Yep.
Where's our twin?
Okay, so when you're ready you can do your checks.
It is in the overhead.
Okay, we are a little bit high, so
good.
Coming back for 800 feet, speed is round about 65, a little bit low. Helmet and harness is secure, plenty of fuel, strobes are on, brakes are off, fuel pump is on. You okay?
I'm secure in the back.
Good.
So we observe the environmental. We got a couple of houses. As long as we get somewhere either behind them or in between them, but not directly over them, that will be fine.
Well, my inclination will be to go between them, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Now, before they were really busy, and because of that I gave a base turn, but I'm not going to do that now because it looks fairly quiet.
Good.
And we are clear on final approach.
So what I would like you to do on final, when you're clear, is now start to get down low, and I would like you to do a low approach to land on, or if necessary, before the numbers, and do a touch and go. That way, with it clear behind, we might be able to get a land ahead.
Oh, okay. So there's somebody descending dead side, so apart from that I'm not aware of any of the circuit traffic.
Got that, the other guy was climbing away.
Okay, so we're still clear on final approach, we're at 800 feet, gentle turn.
Good. Now what's the key to the best landing, do you know? To go spot?
Can I just make my quick call? Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar, turning final, runway 23. To go, well, I power normally, but you've told me to always do glide approaches, so...
For your practice, yeah. But at sleep, as long as there's nobody behind, because this can be quite a steep thing, so you have to modify it to what airfield you've got. Absolutely. If we're high, good, excellent. That's what I wanted to see. Good, good. That'll get us down. Well done.
47 Tango downwind for a low approach and go around. Golf India is also downwind for full stop landing. Can't see the other aircraft.
Perfect. Carry on. Take off.
Sleep radio Golf Bravo. Golf Bravo 423.
Engine failure. There you go.
Yeah, you have got to be really quite fast on it, which is, yeah.
That's a tick in the box.
Golf India is turning base. 47 Tango base, as well.
Okay, so one more circuit then.
Aircraft turning base, I'm inside you, Golf India.
45 degrees again.
We'll be doing a low to go around anyway. Okay, fine, I'm just turning on the final now. And Golf India, if you're doing a low approach, and go around on the band along the south side. That's fine, mate. Final for a low approach.
Okay, we go clear, so turning downwind.
47 Tango language.
Okay, let's expedite an 80 miles an hour downwind leg, just because we can and we've got traffic behind.
Okay. Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Ost is downwind, runway 23, left hand, 800 foot gyrocopter circuit. What's he? Oh, he's going around, yeah.
Yeah, he's going around. They got a bit close to each other, and one guy's landing south side, so he was taking up the runway. So they've sorted it out fine. And your checks?
We're a little bit high once again, so power is coming back. We are 80 miles an hour. We have plenty of fuel, helmet and harness secure. Just checking my strobes are on, fuel pump is on, brakes are off. Okay, all good. You secure?
I am secure.
Alright. So coming back towards 800 feet and preparing to turn base. Turn base now.
Okay, I'd like to show you a little technique. So I have control.
You have control?
Except for I haven't got the throttle, so can you throttle back a little bit? Just a snitch, that's enough, good. And I would like to show you one of the best ways to do a precautionary airfield approach to make sure you land just over the fence. When we're ready, you'll call final. Well, we get down as what we call low and marginally slow, and this way we drop it on. It's going to be a bit difficult with you got the throttle, but we'll manage it. So have a look at final. Final's clear, so call final now.
Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar turning final 23.
Throttle back. Right, now we let it come down.
Right, okay. This is a different picture?
Yeah, different picture. And we bring the power back on in a minute when we start to slow down. So when I do the round out, which is about there, just now keep a constant 70 if you don't mind. I'll do the rest.
All right.
Constant 70. Now we'll try and slow up on you, so you need to keep it.
Flight radio Golf Bravo Oscar November with.
Do not let it slow up. Work the throttle. Right, reduce the throttle a little bit and get 65. Keep 65, don't let it slow up.
The one in Golf Bravo Oscar November Whiskey, we're Cessna 152.
And reduce throttle now.
We are
And
6,000
all the way.
feet, almost overhead field. Runway use.
Okay, you have control, away you go.
037, and Golf November Whiskey.
Now normally we wouldn't do that, because if we do have an engine failure, of course we're not going to make the field.
Yeah.
But in a precautionary situation, we want to survey everything, including the size of the hedge, and if there's any wires in it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And we would have gone round there if it had been a, oh, there's some wire. We'd have put power on, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So come down lower and slower, and if it looks good, proceed, roll the throttle off, and you've got very good control to drop it on the numbers.
Okay, that's good.
If you approach it higher, you just might miss something. 45 degrees when you're ready.
Are we staying in the circuit or are we?
Yeah, staying in the circuit.
Okay.
So that's a little technique that you might want to have a look at, a little bit lower and slower. You have to mind out what runway that is at Ashcroft, because he doesn't want you coming low over the road. If you've got a 09 day,
Yeah.
practice it on 09, okay?
Okay.
It's just another tool for your toolbox. Okay, and when you're ready you can come downwind if it's clear.
Golf November Whiskey, descending outside.
Okay, so there's our guy who went around before. Is he in the circuit? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he is, or he's joined back to the circuit.
What are we doing this time? Are we landing again?
Okay, now this time we're going to execute a fast finals approach, because it's not in the syllabus, and you have to be able to do it if you go to somewhere like Liverpool. I do anything up to 120 mile an hour final. We're not going to do that today.
Alright, I better make the call then that we're Gyrocopter, Golf Romeo, Oscar's late downwind, runway 23, left hand, Gyrocopter 800 foot circle. Okay.
Good, check first.
Alright, so we are 830 feet, speed is good, mags are on, strobes on, fuel pump is on, brakes are off, helmet and harness secure. You're secure?
All secure in the back.
Okay.
So same again, and to do this, we don't want to come down from high, because otherwise we will be probably doing 120 mile an hour and you're only certified for 100 in this. So we might come a bit lower and come in a bit faster. So the idea being, if you're on a fly-in, I was at Church Fenton one day and there was 250 aircraft coming in. And I had to slot in, and I did everything between 10 miles an hour and 120 to get in. But I got in safe. And of course we were a gyro. So you know, you don't often get to practice these techniques, but you might need them someday. Sleep's a nice big runway, so we can land anywhere, so we can do a nice fast approach.
Right, so you'll power on the approach then, basically.
Yeah. So let's say the finals is clear. Right, come down low. So power off first. Now start putting your speed up. Get your speed right up. And do it at nearly 95 miles an hour. So you can bring power on if you like. So get down nice and low.
Okay, there's 90.
Good. That's excellent. Bring it down so you've slotted in with all the finals traffic.
Better get my call in.
Go ahead.
Golf Romeo Oscar, short final, runway 23, touch and go.
Keep the speed up. And what you do, when you know you're down, you start bleeding it off at 1 to 2 foot and land normally. So just come down lower. That's it. Keep it there. And now you just bleed the throttle back and land when you've got the appropriate speed. You might float a bit longer, that's all. Be ready for that. Away you go.
Okay, that's good.
So that way a Cessna didn't catch us up and go round and complain.
Yeah.
Which we had a sort with the other day, so some RV8 said that we were too slow.
Really? What a cheek!
Yeah, and I was doing 95 miles an hour. I said, well, your stalling speed's less than that. You should have, you're either too close,
yeah,
or you deserve to go round. So, you know, but the point is the gyroplane will always get the blame because they say, oh, you're slow. Not necessarily, we're not. I've done 120 miles an hour into Liverpool perfectly safely.
When have you gone into Liverpool in a gyro?
Yeah, loads of times. I used to do the helicopter training and fly there.
So what do they charge you for a landing?
£9.
Really?
So 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's about the same. So is that via Ravener?
No, that was via Heli Centre.
Wow, I had no idea. I'd love to fly. I mean, obviously I flew my fixed wings base there, but I had no idea they would. I know Rod's based there, Rod K.
Exactly. We'll go and make a call on to him or speak to Rod.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll clear crosswind. So there's a couple of tools in your box that you didn't do last time.
Indeed.
So depending on the traffic, this one is going to be a downwind engine failure.
Okay. Do you want me to make a call, or you?
Yeah, make the call, and we'll do the engine failure. I won't have to call that simply because I'm watching out for traffic. Okay.
Runway 23, left hand circuit, QFP 1037, Golf Echo.
Gyrocopter, Golf Romeo Oscars, downwind, runway 23, left hand, 800 foot gyrocopter circuit. Okay, so we are once again a little bit high, about 830, speed is good, 75, max on both globes on, fuel pump on, brakes are off, helmet harness secure, we have sufficient fuel. Are you happy?
I'm happy, carry on.
Golf November Whiskey, final to land, runway 23.
Yeah. Oh, you got him, good. So, there's nobody behind us, so practice engine failure, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, well that's going to be too far, so I'm going to go for that field here.
That'll do, carry on.
You want me to
yeah. Carry on. That's the one I wanted you to pick. We can do our proper engine failures away from the field, not to alarm anybody or whatever, but the point is that was the field I wanted you to go for because that was the best one. Good.
I think the temptation is not to try and make the field.
Yes,
as in the airfield.
correct.
Too far.
If you'd have done that, I would not have been happy.
No, me neither.
Good. So this one will be a spot landing to the intersection.
Okay.
Within 100 metres.
Right. Power or no power?
As you like.
Oh, okay. Well, it's easy with power, so I'm going to cheat.
The next one will be a glide if we've got no traffic behind us.
Well, do you want me to do this one, a glide?
Yeah, actually I do, because there's no traffic behind us, so I agree. So it's a spot landing to the intersection by glide.
Okay.
You may do what you need to do to get in.
Okay.
That's a clue to being higher is better, okay?
Yeah. Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar is turning final, runway 23, touch and go. So where he is, basically?
Yep.
Make the 47 Tango, leaving the ATs at the west altitude 1,500 feet.
Oh, I might have overdone that.
47 Tango, changing 11985.
I've overdone it. Might make your 100 metres.
Okay, go round.
Didn't need the S-turn.
So, when you're on your test, you get one go round. You call the go round,
yeah?
That'll do. Now the point is, did you make a reference point about where you pulled the glide? Because you'll need to remember that and be forward of it next time. Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't remember that and you're not at the same height, you might get it wrong twice. So 45 degrees when you're ready.
Don't get the final one.
So the key was higher is better.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just because there's no wind in.
Yes,
Well,
correct.
there are no excuses. It was
No,
poorly
you're
judged.
right, you're right, but it's, yeah, that's okay, but you're allowed one go around.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you were doing a precautionary, you'd do that, have a look and bugger off and come round
Oh,
again.
there's one here. So
Got that,
I
come round him. Yeah, got you. Good. So what we do, if you just keep him in your eyesight, 800 foot circuit, don't forget, which he's doing and he shouldn't be. Okay, so he's not high enough yet. But if you keep him in your 12 o'clock all the time, you'll find somehow, although we do an elliptical circuit, you'll find that the separation is right all the way around.
Golf Romeo downwind.
Yeah, I'll be a student, so he's not at the right height. Like that, or he's got his QFE set wrong.
I might slow down a little bit actually. I mean, he's pulling away, but I'm a little bit high. It's because you look at him and you think that's a circuit. So, well, I'm coming down to my gyrocopter.
Yeah, he's just climbing up a bit there now, so he's obviously realised he's adjusting. It could be a student, okay?
Golf Romeo Oscar is downwind 23 left hand 800 foot gyrocopter circuit. Contact 1 ahead on downwind. He's wide as well, isn't he? I mean,
He's wide, so that's what I said. Now you can turn into him with your, get him in your head 12 o'clock, turn towards him. Don't forget we're on the inside track, there's nobody behind us. Now just keep your screen on him and follow him all the way around, and you'll find, because of the speed difference, it automatically keeps separation good. Try it and see if I'm not wrong.
Okay, well I'm adding power back in then, because he's definitely getting ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
So is he about to turn?
No, he's on a 747 circuit, he could be a student.
So you've been tracking round now?
Track him in your 12 o'clock, like that.
I'm getting a bit lax on my altitude, I'm at 880.
Good, and your checks whilst you're doing it.
Okay, so strobes, fuel pump, mags, I am high, speed is okay, helmet harness secure, fuel is sufficient, are you happy?
I'm happy.
Okay, so let me just lose that altitude. Feels weird.
It does feel weird, but there's two good things about it. One is, it'll work out with the right separation, and the other is, you're not going to lose him.
No, that's good. Yeah, absolutely.
He's in your 12 o'clock. The worst he can do is start going off the screen, and you will notice, and you will adjust accordingly. And there's nobody behind us, so we can, if we had to, we can slow up a bit, but I don't think we do. Just
I'm flying 60, but...
Yeah, keep that speed, and keep him there, and see if I'm about right, roughly. Because you'll notice this, and it's handy for when you go to other airfields like this, that if you keep an inside leg and track him, you'll find that you're probably about right when it all pans out on final.
That's interesting, because I've always thought I should fly the same circuit as them so that they know roughly where I am, but that might actually slow them down more.
Yep. So come back to 60 again, because you're speeding up a little bit. Your 60 was right.
Golf Romeo final to land.
Okay, he's in to land, so he didn't say to go around, so this could be, he didn't say touch and go, so this could be a go around.
Yeah.
But he's a student, so we're not sure. Okay, so
Golf Romeo Oscar's final 2-3 touch and go, contact 1 ahead. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going pretty much as slowly as I can. I'm going to use a powered approach for this one.
Good, absolutely good. So you see, that would normally be good separation. He would be turning off
fine,
now, wouldn't he, up the intersection there. So that works out what I've told you.
Yeah, it does. That's good. Oh, good stuff. Learning.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Golf India Lima is entering 36 to macro.
Is he going to get off in the first intersection?
He's turning off, so
so
continue approach. So they are. That was perfect separation.
Yep.
That's worth knowing, and you can regain whatever speed you require to continue your approach. Let's make this to the intersection, shall we? So you can do a hover approach if you like. You can come down to 6 foot.
Yeah.
And just hover it up to where you need to be, maintaining speed until you want to bleed it off. Don't let it go slow, it'll go slow on you. That's it.
Request field data for a later circuit.
Good, there you are. So bleed it back now and you'll land on the intersection. Perfect, away you go. Okay, this one is going to be a right-hand turn departing to the west for general handling.
Okay.
Not above 500 foot until you're 2 nautical miles outside the aerodrome because of people joining on the dead side, okay?
Okay.
And just so you know, when you've departed and you're ready, you can put your squawk on as well.
Okay. Oh yes, good point. How did I miss that? Too much happening. Okay, so
Golf kilo after
good spot. So right turn departing west and saying 500 foot.
Yeah, you tell them though what you're doing.
Yeah. Golf Romeo Oscar departing towards the west, remaining at 500 feet. I should have said gyrocopter, but
don't worry, it's okay. Observing your environmental as well, because we're still quite low at 500 foot.
Well, should I jump onto Q&H now?
Yeah, you should pop to Q&H.
So 1047.
And be prepared for Shawbury, because it's a weekday and they are active.
Yeah.
So when we've got outside the zone and we can start to climb to 1500 feet.
Once you're outside the ATZ?
Yeah, it's about 2 miles ahead.
Yeah, I've got it on my
Good,
screen.
you got it there, excellent, even better. And we can climb, and on the climb out when we got about 1,000 feet, because it gives you enough radio height.
Make a call to Shawbury.
Make a call to Shawbury. Tell them that we'll be working to the west between Rednall and Sleep at an altitude between 2,000 and 500 foot.
Okay. I've started my climb a little bit early, but that's not too bad. We're only 100. Still just within it.
Golf kilo alphas, backtracking from 1A to the altitude.
Okay, we're just passing the ATZ boundary now, so commencing the climb up to 1500 and I'll make the call as we beyond 1,000.
Good.
That's better. I'll tell Sabe what I'm doing as well.
Yes. QSY from Sleep.
Yeah. Golf Romeo Oscar departed the ATZ to the west, QSY to Shawbury 133.150. Okay, going on to Shawbury. Yeah, I've got no chance getting them at this altitude. So between 500 and 2,000.
Yeah, tell them I'll make it 2,500 just in case. A parcel between there, and we'll maintain a listening watch.
Okay. And you want me to go up to 1,500 initially?
Yeah, so we can do our hazels here as well, just to make sure there's nothing above us. Engine T's and P's, because we're leaving the field, so we want to be sure we've not got anything going on.
Okay, I'll just make my call. Try to speak to Shawbury.
Go ahead.
Shawbury Zone, Gyrocopter Golf Uniform India Romeo Oscar, request basic service.
Golf Uniform India Romeo Oscar, good afternoon, Shawbury Zone, flight details.
Golf Uniform India Romeo Oscar, just airborne from Slave, currently to the west, climbing through 1,400 feet, squawking 7,000. Going to be doing some general handling between Redland and Slave, between 500 feet and 2,500 feet.
Golf Romeo Oscar, squawk 7426, basic service, Shawbury QNH 104.
Squawking 7426, basic service 10477, Golf Romeo Oscar.
Romeo Oscar, the QNH is 1046.
1046, Golf Romeo Oscar. Okay, just about 1,500, a little bit high, heading towards Rednall.
Practice engine failure. 3, 2, 1, go.
Carnarvon back to Slate, currently south of Llangollen at 3,500 feet, request basic service.
That one looks pretty good.
7426,
Broadly
basic
it's
service,
wind.
Shawbury QNH 1046.
Squawk 7426,
Bit better,
basic
really.
service, QNH 1046, Golf Lima.
I think there might be cables on that one, otherwise looking good.
Do
So
identify traffic, sir.
I'm going to stay reasonably near it, and I'll do a hovering descent to get in.
Service uniform 12.
Yeah, it's nice and long. Can't see any cables.
And full power. Good. That's exactly where I was going to land if it was me, so I'm happy with that. Good. That's one of our usual fields down here.
It looks like a runway, doesn't it?
It does.
It's just a wide one.
It would be a bit difficult not to pick it.
Yeah. It almost looks too good. I was expecting there must be cables.
Yeah. Well, you were right to be questionable because it could have been a trick one.
Well, there are cables over here, big ones. But
Yeah, you've got red and all over there, so you've got those big pylons and stuff.
can you still go into Redmond? Is it still operating?
It is, but you need a PPR. You'll see it over there to your 3 o'clock.
You need a PPR anyway nowadays, don't you?
You do, yeah. Okay, so keep climbing, and you can do 180 when it's clear to do so.
Copy your Romeo, request top of line 1,800 feet till the confined space, 80 10 squawk 7,000 and free call on route today.
Okay, so we're going to do some low level now.
Okay.
So you see that stream down there that winds across there?
Yep.
Where the railway track intersects it, I want you to come down to nearly treetop height
Okay.
and fly back this way along the stream.
This way. Oh, that way, along the stream. Yeah, okay.
Follow the stream.
Okay. You obviously know there are no cables or anything there. There are cables here.
Well, you keep a lookout and tell me. Now remember, if you have an engine failure low down,
Yeah,
two things.
Speed matters.
Speed matters, so the more speed you've got, the more choices you've got.
Yeah.
Be thinking where the wind is
Yeah.
relative to where you're flying.
Yep.
Because you might have to fly backwards to go into wind, okay?
Yep.
Call 7426.
I'm just conscious of those cables. I don't want to get too near there.
No, so come left now.
Bravo Romeo, do you require max penetration?
So the key is not below 70 really.
Negative, remaining
And I want you to keep that stream profile almost exactly. No lower than that.
Okay, there's a tall tree there, so I'm just going to go a little bit wider.
So you might have to be careful here. Good. A bit higher. Keeps power on.
Birds. Not something.
Yeah. You have to be careful.
Deliberately going wide, cables,
That's why we don't want
birds.
to. That's good. Yeah. Not too slow. Keep your speed up.
70, 75.
Even 80 if you like.
Okay,
80 gives you
that's-
more manoeuvring,
Alright.
more ability.
More birds,
A
higher.
little bit higher to prevent the birds from flying into us. That's about the right height there because we can always pull up a little bit there if we need to.
85. More birds, lots of them low level.
Good. Good.
Helicopter Bravo Romeo, entering the Pearce not above at 1,000 feet.
If I had a practice engine failure, where are you going to land?
That's right, it's gravity straight ahead because it's, you know, like over there.
Alright.
Once you request your
Because we just haven't got the altitude to turn, so.
Right, here's a tip for you. Give me small throttle. Right, what I would do, interwind is to your left.
Yeah.
I would look at, I'd say, right, go,
Okay,
and
that
then I'd
way.
go, and I'd wind it up and throttle down, then come down like that, okay?
Yeah,
You've got
okay.
cables, so you have control, climb us away to the right. Don't forget, if you have a sudden wind up of your rotors, it's good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives you some choices.
So the hard turn to the left.
Hard turn
would be
into
good,
wind would give you choices.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
And there's no chance to go downwind or mess about at that height. Good. Okay, climb us back up again.
To what, 1500?
1500, yep. Next one will be unusual attitudes.
Okay.
Golf Lima Romeo, slate in sight, first frequency change, slate 122.459.
Romeo, talk 7,000,
7,000, thank
Yeah,
you.
a snap turn to the left if you've got no engine will, you bear in mind, by the time you've got your engine failure and you've had a gap of a second or so, you start to lose rotor speed.
Yeah.
So that hard turn left will
actually
recover
good.
it
Yeah.
immediately and give you flying speed of your rotors, even if you've slowed down.
So you're converting the fast
Yes.
kinetic speed into
Correct.
rotor energy. So.
Yeah, which you really do need everything you've got at that height. Excellent.
Do you want me to, we're on a northerly track at the moment, are you happy with that?
Oh, well, I tell you what, let's come around 180 because we're going towards Ellesmere. We'll just stay in this general area. Oh, we got a good little bonfire down there, that's a clue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 1500, so let's have a little look at our feeder. So yeah, our fuel's plenty sufficient. All our T's and P's are good.
Yep.
And looking at our Hazel, if we want to do unusual manoeuvres as well, so let's have a look out. Yeah, area, everything is good. We know our position. And our radio call's already into Shawbury. Okay, so what I would like to do first is simulate what happens in a situation where you're looking at a mate's house, you're flying past, you've got a passenger, you're looking at a mate's house, and you tend to look down to the side.
Yep.
And as you're going by it, you tend to tip the stick to the left and pull the stick back, and effectively you'll enter a spiral dive.
Okay.
This is a true scenario, it can happen, and obviously there's a recovery technique, so I'd like you to operate the recovery when I say so. So what I'll do, come right, because you're over
we're getting
there,
a red one,
yes,
yep.
I know there's nobody there, but actually there is.
Yeah, you never know,
There's a door open there. Oh right, I think there could be a gyro in there. Gyro boys are out to play. Anyway, so getting back to it, we'll find, normally it will be a obstacle on the ground, not the house.
Yep.
In reality it will be a house. So we could find, for example, see that bunch of trees over there? That nice planting there?
Yep.
Ploughed field in front,
Yep.
ponds behind a bit.
Yes, okay.
We'll use that as our obstacle, pretend that's our mate's house.
Okay.
So we'll fly just to the right of that bunch of trees, and we'll start slowing up as we get by, and we'll pretend we're looking down at our mate's house.
Okay.
And I will induce what will normally happen, and as we enter into the spiral dive, I'll say recover.
Okay.
And I want you to adopt the recovery technique that you've been taught. So this is a scenario based. The CA liked us to do scenarios. So we're coming along. We see our mate's house, so we start chatting away to him, talking about the architectural features. Make it cruise speed, will you? Don't want to be too fast, so 70, call it 70. So I'll induce what normally happens.
Okay.
So we're looking down the house, we're waving at mother-in-law or whoever it is that we're waving. And we're looking down like this, and we're looking over, and then suddenly we're down and we recover. Good. And you bring back your power to cruise when you're happy. That's a good recovery technique. When you do it, you can do it at cruise speed, but very often it will happen differently if you deliberately slowed up, because your cruise speed becomes faster. But if you're doing 30-40, you'll kind of drop in a shorter spiral. So let's.
Well, we lost 500 feet. Then,
we lost 500 feet. Now that's the key to the lesson here. Spiral dive will cost you a lot of height. So your recovery needs to be fairly prompt, and in fact you should realise it fairly promptly, because the thinking time loses 100%.
It feels, you feel the G, don't you, and the noise. And
let's go back to that, and we'll do it right-handed now, and we'll do it slow. So I want you to adopt. We're a bit low. Can you climb up? Yeah, climb back up first. We don't want to be doing it at 1,000. We're doing it at 1,500. So climb up. We could always pick another set of trees over there or somewhere.
We'll do those then, maybe.
Do those. Yeah, exactly. Okay. No, negative, there's a tractor operating there, so just climb away, go the other side of the pylons maybe.
Well, we could come back on this. I'm at 1,300. Do you want me to come back round here again?
No, because there's a tractor down there, so environmentally let's find a new area.
Okay, so we don't annoy him.
Yeah, we always want to be in the right. Good airmanship, because you only need one complaint from the ground and they get all upset. You could probably pick one of those turbines.
All right. Well, we'll pick the nearest one.
That way, yeah, pick the nearest one, which is good enough. So we're on our way back to the airfield, so that's good. So let's pick that one direct ahead. And there's something I want to show you about pylons, these turbines, should I say, because it's quite useful. In emergency, you might get your wind direction wrong.
Oh, I know. Some of them point into the wind, and some of them point 180.
Thank you. That's it.
So
don't need to tell you. You've got it right on. And you'd be surprised how many people I do revalidation and they get that wrong.
Well, like this one, these are pointing the wrong way.
Correct.
They're all pointing easterly, north.
Correct.
Apart from that one, which is the same size and is pointing the right way.
Correct. And this is absolutely beautiful territory because it catches them out, and then of course it makes them think. So there's a good
I far prefer, as you pointed out before, the spoke is much more reliable. The big ones nearly always seem to point into the wind. The smaller ones
they can be anywhere.
Okay, well, you want me slower here?
So I want you to be slow. So come directly. Let's say we've seen our mate's house. It's that turbine down there, and we want to slow down to about 50 because we want to go by slowly, let's say, and it'll be slightly different when we do this. So keep your height though. So step back. Don't lose any height, and you'll see it comes a little bit differently.
Gone all mushy.
Yeah, gone all mushy. So keep 50. In fact, we'll go just past the pylons because there's a house there. So we do that circle. You see that circle? Let's do that. Okay. Pretend that's our mate's house. Because when you slow up, the spiral dive will be different.
Okay.
So the recovery is the same, but it just feels completely different. So again, I will induce it, and I'll tell you when to recover. So we start looking out. Automatically, we accidentally bring our stick to the side, and we actually pull it back. And we're going to go round. We're looking at him, and then all of a sudden, we're now in this kind of spiral dive. Okay, and recover. So it's a slightly tighter spiral dive and slightly different feel on the recovery, but the same difference, but recognising it, because when you're flying slowly, very often you think it's okay, it's like cruise speed, but you can very soon get into a quite tight descent, and again you lose quite a lot of power, but you can't put power on facing downhill.
Absolutely.
So although you would like not to lose 500 foot, you're not allowed to smack the power on downhill. So you've got to use your attributes of your aerodynamics without the engine, get it back into the cruise attitude, and then you're okay to bring it back to power again. So the lesson really is it loses a lot of height, so recognise it early, do something about it, don't let it develop.
Okay.
Good. Okay, we'll head back towards the airfield. There's one more to do. It's the Zoom climb. Well, there's two, and there's the VNE recovery. So the Zoom climb represents you've seen a bird, a plane, or whatever, and as you know, we can't duck underneath it because that's negative G, so we either have to pull left, right, or straight up. And there is a recovery technique, and of course the danger is you bleed all your airspeed off of a sudden, and you could get into an unusual altitude, so you know what to do. So, we've got 1500, we're pointed back towards the airfield, we just have a little look at our hazel check again, we're all good, engine T's and P's are settled, I'm secure in the back, are you secure in the front?
That's fine.
Good. Okay, so you're flying along, and I will induce the Zoom climb, and you, I will say, recover. Okay? Plane! Recover. Good. Get our speed back. Excellent. Level attitude and power on. Excellent. And the next one will be VNE. So I'm going to head down. I will induce VNE and I'll ask you to cover.
Okay.
So, here we go. And recover.
It's the same, isn't it? Every time, it's basically just the same.
It is.
Get the power back and the stick centred.
And it works.
It does work, yeah. Apart from on the aborted takeoff.
Yes. That's why I wanted you to come to sleep, because I knew that one would be... And we'll brief that one being a new one. Okay, so standard overhead join. You can QSY from Shawbury and rejoin overhead standard join at sleep.
Okay. Golf Romeo Oscar, returning to Slape in sight, changing 122.455 and squawking 7000.
Golf Romeo Oscar, roger.
Okay, so let's go VFR. Let's go.
Where do you want the gyroplane?
Climbing up. Again, a little bit slow, the same. Slape radio, Gyrocopter Golf Uniform India Romeo Oscar is inbound 4 miles to the west. Request airfield information. Probably nobody on the radio.
Golf India Romeo, attention.
That Beeb is talking
Golf
to.
India Romeo, I'm asking you, would you like us back in the hangar?
You might come in a minute.
Yes, you can pass the hangar, please. Okay. Gyrocopter inbound, currently still using 23, left-hand circuit, got a QFE of 1036.
Copy 23, left hand QFE 1036. We'll join overhead for 23, Golf Romeo Oscar.
Good, okay, so let's get back in the cruise. We're a bit slow at 46. And because we want to see speed and height maintenance, we're going to do a hazel check here, so just do a little turn left and right. There's one more manoeuvre I want you to do, because we're 2 miles away, so we're okay, we're outside the zone, 3 miles even. Okay, we're all clear, T's and B's are good. So what I want you to do, at 65 miles an hour, do a 360 orbit to the left initially, all the way around, maintain height, maintain speed. 65 miles an hour, 60 degrees attitude.
Whoa.
You will need power. And backstick.
I'm at full power and I'm struggling to keep the... Oh, okay, now it's got it. Maybe I added a little bit too much power there. Yeah.
Okay, so one to the right.
Okay, so let me just let the power come back to 65.
Yeah. Please good.
Better.
That's better. The first one was quite horrible, wasn't it?
Okay. You said
Alright, I'll let you off. I can always check you on a left-hander in future. Good, that's fine.
Okay, right, I need to...
Worth practicing. Again, put that in your pocket for a practice, okay?
Alright.
Good.
Okay, we're getting slow again, so, okay, that is a little bit high as well.
I don't mind if you're a bit high here, because everybody tends to have very accurate aeroplanes flying at 2,000 foot.
Okay.
So if you're not exactly at 2,000 foot, if you're a bit over, guess what? I don't mind. We don't want to meet everybody overhead at 2,000, do we?
No,
And there's no rules against it, by the way, so carry on.
There's somebody just crossing the numbers.
Gotcha.
So are we going all the way down to the hangars, or are we going to the normal parking?
We'll do the hangars, because you're all done, unless you want a coffee.
Kilo Oscar, just taxiing round the corner to the field one, sir.
I'm conscious of the time, really. Have you
give me
got, I'm not sure what the fuel's going to be looking like, so I think I might be, have you got any fuel handy?
Yes, we have.
I might,
You should be okay, but we'll make sure you've got plenty.
Right.
So come over the head of the field, which is the windsock. Because if you call overhead and you're not overhead, I won't see you.
That's fine. I would actually go over.
I see.
I would actually do it all the way.
Alright, yeah, I'm happy.
But that is fussy. So that's just the way I've always done it.
Okay. Just remember, whatever you call, somebody will look up and expect you to be in the normal position. Just remember that, because it could be important for somebody. Especially if you've got 3 or 4 joining at the same time.
No, absolutely. I know we're joining on the dead side, but I would tend to go round, come back over the numbers, and then call as I'm coming this way.
If you're going to do that, absolutely fine. And that is actually beneficial because it gives you a look at the airfield.
Yeah, and we got pretty much straight down the runway.
You
There's a
can
bit of
see
wind
the
now.
windsock nice and clearly. It's not rushed. And of course it gives you a chance to look at any traffic on the live side as well.
Absolutely.
So
which
that
is what I
good.
saw before.
Yep,
There were 3 in. Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar overhead, descending dead side 23 left hand, gyrocopter 800 foot circuit. These model aircraft flyers down here.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, it's all happening, isn't it? It's like,
Well, we need all the revenue we can get.
Golf Kilo Alpha's downwind to 2-3.
there he is, see him,
Got him.
and he's come made the right position for the call.
Good.
Gets so much longer in the gyro compared to fixed wing doing this to really get a good view.
Indeed.
Still see him, he's wide. Okay, there's 1,000 feet. Just feeding in a bit of power, clear on downwind, 900 feet. Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar's downwind 23 left hand 800 foot gyrocopter circuit. Okay, so downwind checks, we are pretty much, we're low now, but 780 feet, speed is good, mags are on both, strobes are on, fuel pump is on, brakes are off, helmet and harness secure. You're secure?
I'm scared about it. So on this one we can do a hover taxi, come down as if we're going to land on the numbers, do a hover taxi, 6 foot all the way down, usually not below 70, and then bleed it off, and I'd like you to do a spot landing as near as you can, the numbers the other end, and you can call landing long, full stops outside.
Okay. So we can see him just crossing the run up there, well, the lead in, clear on final approach. Gyrocopter Golf Romeo Oscar turning final 2-3 will land long for the south side hangars.
So, we want to be pretending we're landing at 2-3, rounding out, at 6 foot, continuing the hover taxi, and then doing it, so it's almost like 2 spot landings, you get 2 banks for the buck at this, which is what we like. So your first bit is I've got to get it into 2-3, and then you've got to bring the power on, bring it 70 all the way down the runway to 6 foot and bleed it off and do another spot landing for numbers the other side. Good, bring on the power then, 6 foot. Okay, stabilise at 70. You will now be able to see the numbers coming up, and roughly when you see the numbers physically, you can start to wind back the throttle, fly it down to 1 foot, and then land on the numbers. So I can just see the numbers coming up now. So start to wind back, about there, keep it going, and you can do the flare here. That's it. Perfect, see?
Happy with that.
Good.
You always get the pressure between getting out of the way and not wanting to taxi with your rotor spinning, particularly when it's bumpy. I'm going to come off here.
True.
But there's not much wind today.
No,
currently going.
I'll accept that. I was watching you when you came in. I wanted to know what you would do.
Exactly the same issue then, except the circuit was a lot busier.
Correct.
So I was watching my rotor RPM. If it had got below 50, I actually made it to the end before it got below 50.
You did, I watched it.
I might not this time though. Gosh, well, you can't hide from you.
No, you cannot. My eyes are everywhere.
With your cameras.
Well, your eyes are everywhere.
Well, that's true.
I can't hide either.
No, that's true.
Kilo Alpha's downwind for 2-3.
And because there's no wind, I will accept it go below 50. Because we're on nice, or nearly nice tarmac, shall I say.
I'm trying to avoid the worst bumps.
Yeah.
Just dropping 50 now.
That's alright.